On behalf of City Council, staff, and all the people who had a big part in this place, welcome to our VIP reception. We're glad you're here. Before we do anything, I heard a speech yesterday on 9/11. I'm going to sort of steal a line from that speech. Yesterday was 9/11. The only thing better than 9/11 is 9/12. That was the day after when we came together with our red, white, and blue. So can we have a short moment of silence on this great country we live in? Thank you. Okay. We're all excited about the Performing Arts Center. We've got a great thing going on with the chamber and the dance studio, and it's going to just get bigger and better as we go. If you look around the borough and you see the Veterans Memorial and you see Casey Jane Park, you see that great golf course with all the staff up there, we're clicking on all cylinders right now, and this just adds to that. When we get you here, we don't want you going somewhere else to spend your money. Stay here and spend it. So that's the idea. And yes, there's more restaurants on the way. We're working hard on that. So I didn't come up here to say a lot. I did come up here to welcome you. What I do have is introduce some guests. So I better put my glasses on so I don't butcher anybody's name, just in case. Obviously, we have State Representative Scott Lips here this evening, Councilmember Jim Smeal, Councilmember Becky Iverson, Councilmember Jack Hansen. The other council members were on traveling, so they obviously are excused. County Commissioner Shannon Jones, Township Trustee Ed Wade, Township Trustee Steve Muterspaw, who had to go, but he was here. School Board Member Charles Anderson. So those are the folks that are here tonight. Thank you for all that you do each and every day on behalf of our county. If anybody watched the newscast earlier, David Fornshaw did a great job on behalf of that trial that went on. He represented our county very well today, made us proud of the things that he had to say. Before I introduce our State Representative Scott Lips, I would be remiss if I didn't, on behalf of the city, on behalf of the staff and council, to thank you, Scott, you and Senator Wilson, for sharing part of your budget money with us. Shannon, you've done that with the park, and we appreciate that. And Scott, you and Steve got us $250,000 to help make this possible. So thank you very much, and we're going to pick your pocket somewhere down the road again, so don't get too comfortable. Okay, so without any further ado, Senator, now that I've sort of broke you in a little bit, Scott, State Representative Lips, would you please join me at the podium? And you can be as windy as you want.
Thank you.
You outrank me.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you very much for being here this afternoon. What a wonderful day. I just want to get a couple formalities out of the way. I really like the cake. If you haven't seen the cake, so we're going to do the serious stuff first so I don't forget it, but that's a damn nice cake. I'm just going to tell you. So thank you for spending your afternoon in Springboro. So impressive that this dream, this vision, is now this building and all of you here making it a reality. So about 4 years ago, I was asked by the management team to attend a meeting at City Hall, and they had maps and graphs and paperwork and said, here's what we have to do. So we went to Columbus and asked, and we worked hard. And I was a freshman legislator following in the shoes of like a Shannon Jones who knew how to operate it. And as a freshman, I didn't know how, and we didn't get it done. Quite honestly, we failed. But let me tell you who didn't fail. Your mayor and your city manager, Chris Thompson and Chris Pozzuto. So John and Chris were amazing individuals. So let me give you a little bit of information about Springboro. In 1990, you had 6,000 residents, so 6,000 citizens. Today, you have 6,000 students in your school system and about 19,000 citizens. So that's tremendous managed growth, if you'll think about that. It takes perseverance and leadership. So when we failed the first time, we met again. And this time, the collateral, the information that Senator Wilson and I took back to Columbus was remarkable. It was wonderful. So I would like to point out that your mayor has been an elected official in Springboro for 24 years. 22 of those years, he's been your mayor. And Chris, your city manager, has now been with the city since 2003, so 16 years, and working with John hand in hand learning. So I have to tell you that their understanding and their leadership that put us here is exactly why Springboro is who Springboro is. People want to live in Springboro. People want to be Springboro. We're proud of it. We're proud of everything that we hear about Springboro. So I have to be cautious of all that pride. It wasn't by accident. It was strictly by planned leadership, by vision. I will tell you, I talked to Chief Steve. Steve, you're out there. Okay, a few minutes ago, Steve and I were talking, and I said, okay, 2 years in a row, you've worked me pretty hard. Can I have a year off? And then right away, the mayor starts off by saying, we're going to pick your pocket. So I'm not feeling like I get a year off, right? So it's, I will tell you this, with your dreams and your visions, you make it so wonderful to represent and work hard for you in Columbus. So I'm honored to be invited to be here today. I am honored to work with your team. Every time your team calls, I almost call back every time, okay? So I will tell you that in talking with Chris about it, he reminds me that we failed once. So he always keeps me on my toes and pulls me back down. So ladies and gentlemen, if you're not proud of this building, I would take one more walk through it and you will be. And your chamber office moved in here Tuesday, by the way. And if you want to know another important statistic, the chamber has storage in their office. So that's an inside joke. Carol, did I do well? See, I got Carol happy. So again, please be proud of this facility and please be proud of Springboro. Thank you.
Thank you, and I will say, well, first of all, I think I know everybody in the room, but Chris Pozzuto, I'm the city manager, and Scott is not wrong. The first time we tried to get this money from the state capital budget for this building, it did fail, and he got a very nasty email from me. I think it was an email, and he didn't want to return it, but I will give the man credit, him and Senator Wilson. They both went to bat for this project again, and we got it the second time around, so it's better late than never. So I want to give these guys a round of applause. They really did a nice job with getting us some state money, so thank you, Representative Lips. Right now, I'm taking over. I'm going to MC this part of the presentation. Just so you're aware, I have, Becky, where are you, Becky? I've already signed up for dance classes with you, so those start next Thursday, right? So get me in there. You do not want to see me in a tutu, believe me. But right now, I want to introduce some of our partners in this exciting venture. The first one will be the Chamber of Commerce. So as everybody knows, the Chamber moved from South Main Street into this building, and they actually fit a really nice niche for us. So when we were presenting this building to City Council all came back with a great question for me. Hey, that theater's great, but what are you going to do with the building during the day? And I went, oh, yes, that's a great question. So at the time, being on the chamber board as I was, I knew that the chamber was actually growing out of their space, and so I reached out to Carol Hughes. We talked a little bit, and then we decided that the chamber would have a great home here, and so that worked out actually absolutely perfectly. So without further ado, I want to introduce John Parks, who's the board chairman of the chamber, to say a few words.
Carol asked me to say a few words tonight, and I'm a man of few words, thankfully, so I'll keep it short. But it was interesting to find out that the building that we are departing used to be the old city building. So from a standpoint of what comes around turning into the next generation, it was one of those really unique moments when Chris was presenting this idea to the board and to the chamber. And on behalf of the over 600 members, we just want to say thank you to all of the city actually a city team. It's been a great experience from everybody from the staff to the various individuals from a standpoint of Chris and his team. But we're looking forward to the new growth. Carol has doors. That's another unique thing from a standpoint. But we moved in on Saturday, and it was amazing to see how full the old office was in comparison to how empty the new building was. So we're looking forward to the growth. It's a great space. We hope that everybody here is a member of the chamber, and if not, we're hoping that you will join. So thank you.
All right, next up as another one of our great partners is the Springboro Community Theater. Now, you may recognize that name is fairly new. They used to be Playhouse South for 20, 30 years, and then it changed again, but now you'll be happy to know that according to our illustrious reporter from the Dayton Daily News, and Jim, I know you know this. He basically wrote in the article that I threatened you guys to have Springboro in the name. Is that what he put? Something like that. Yeah, something like that. So, as Jim knows, I don't make idle threats. So, but I just thought that was funny whenever that was written in there, that I forced you to have the name Springboro in it. But we're happy to have Playhouse South, now Springboro Community Theater. We are happy you put Springboro in the name. But they're going to be a great partner for us to bring the arts full circle in Springboro. So we're excited to have you guys as a partner. So I'd ask Jim Brown, the president of Springboro Community Theater, to come up and say a few words.
Well, thank you, everyone. We are beyond excited to be here and humbled that your community would invite us to bring our new home here. We've actually been part of your community for the past 12 years doing outdoor theater at North Park and bringing summer productions there to the masses. Come out and bring a blanket. And I remember about 10 years ago, Chris and I were sitting down following one of those productions, and we said we were looking to the next year, and I said, you know, if you ever decide you want a community theater, your support is pretty awesome. I mean, you guys are great. Let me know, because I would consider moving. And he says, I've got this great plan. It's funny you should mention that. This vision of a performing arts center, and it's part of a 10-year plan. And the only problem is my 10-year window just keeps moving out. But I stand here today, and that 10-year window, we're walking right up to that window and looking in right now. So we're excited to be here. We're thankful to the state government, the local government, Representative Lips, Senator Wilson, Chris and Greg, the mayor, city council. Thank you. Thank you for welcoming us, the support, the generosity, the understanding, the collaboration. It's been amazing. We also want to thank our sponsors that help our theater exist every day. We are an all-volunteer 501c3 not-for-profit organization, so our sponsors make a ton of difference. We want to thank Synergy. They are actually sponsoring, not only did they help build this great building, but they're sponsoring one of our shows. Of course, Premier Health that put their name on the theater. The folks at VizCap that gave us a temporary home. We want to thank Springboro Veterinary Hospital, Carrie Robbins and Berkshire Hathaway Realty. We want to thank Eve's Inc. and Freezinger Chocolates. These folks all support local theater, and we're very, very appreciative of them. I want to thank our neighbors. We're so excited. You know how great it is to move into a new place and know that you like your neighbors even before you get there? I mean, that takes a whole big weight off your shoulders. So I will warn you, though, we will be the ones that are blasting the loud music late at night because we'll be in rehearsals. So sorry in advance, but there you go. Well, hey, if you blast loud music too, we'll dance along, just not as well. So we also want to thank all of the membership of our theater, because we are all volunteer. It takes a village to do this, and we're very appreciative of that. The family and friends of all the board members and administrative staff have given countless hours away from family time as we have gotten to here, so we're appreciative of our family and our friends. The last thing I'll leave you with is, as a father, my biggest wish is that my kids will someday find their people. And so whether that's in the classroom or on the athletic field or on the stage, when you find that group of people that appreciates you for who you are, that acknowledges your individual strengths and accepts you and helps you to excel, that is when you have found your place. And right here, right now, Springboro Community Theater, we feel like we've found our people. So thanks for welcoming us home.
Thanks, Jim. Next up, our next partner that I'd like to introduce, again, short story. So about 4 years ago, I believe, sometime, the time flies, but we bought the old IGA property, which we now are standing. We had a few tenants that were in there. We helped relocate them, which was nice. I think we kept about 99% of them in Springboro, so that's good. But we had one left. It was the dance studio. And I looked at Becky Harding one day and I just said, I'm sorry, Becky, we're going to be tearing your building down. You better find a new place to go. I'm just kidding. We had talked early about having her come in here. It just made sense. Performing Arts Center, you have the theater, and then you have the dance portion. So it just made perfect sense to have them come into this building, and they've been great to work with so far. So we appreciate the Center Stage Dance Studio being a part of this project. But right now I'm going to introduce Tammy Longworth, who's going to come up and say a few words for the dance studio.
My whole life.
Mine too.
Good evening. I just want to thank all of you so much. We cannot tell you how exciting this is for my mom and I. And I know my teachers are excited and my daughter and things, but my mom and I have had this dream of being part of a performing arts center for 35 years. My mom helped me start this dance studio when I was 16 years old in Waynesville. And we were there for about 12 years, and then we moved over to Springboro because this is where I grew up. This is where I've always lived. This is where my kids have gone to school and been raised. My son is still working. He's now come back from college and is working at Springboro High School. So this is our home. And so it made sense for us to move back here to Springboro and have our dance studio. So this is our dream, my mom and I, Becky. And this dream has come true. 35 years, but wow, it's exciting. So I can't tell you, this week has just been so emotional for both of us, and so fun and exciting. So I just want to thank everyone. I want to thank specifically Premier Health, Springboro Area Chamber of Commerce. I'm so glad that we're going to get to be partners with you. The Springboro Community Theater, it's going to be so exciting to be partners with the theater. We can send our kids there, and they can send their people to us, and it's just going to be a good collaboration, I believe. Synergy Building, unbelievable. Faith and Cody and the people that we have specifically worked with, unbelievable people to work with. So, they were installing our mirrors this week, and 2 of the big mirrors broke, and the guy, I guess, told my mom, well, they're not going to be in for a couple weeks. Well, I came in last night, and Faith says, your mirrors will be here tomorrow. And so they're here. So thank you. And just, the state government, the local government, this just wouldn't be possible. I just cannot even tell you how beyond excited we are. My dancers, they're being quiet down there in the dance room. That's a feat in itself. The mayor and the deputy mayor, just thank you so much for allowing us to be the dance studio that's in the Performing Arts Center and to be a part of this wonderful endeavor that the city has taken on. Also, everybody that has ever walked through our doors, we have always considered our family. And like I said, we're so excited to share that with the city, the Springboro Community Theater, the Chamber of Commerce, everybody. So I just want to thank you again. And anybody that I may have forgotten, I'm sorry, but I do thank you. I thank my parents every day that walk through the door and allow us to teach their children dance. And we hope you're as excited as we are about continuing this love of dance and this passion that we have in the School of the Arts. So thank you.
All right, we're almost done, I promise. Got a lot of partners, which is good. The next partner we want to recognize is Premier Health. So today we have Mike Yule, who's here. He's the president of Miami Valley Hospital. Again, this theater space with the Premier Health Theater, the nice big sign, Mike, did you notice that? I did. Okay. We made it nice and big for you. But, without Premier Health, we would not have this theater space. And when we went to pitch the idea to them probably about a year and a half ago, they immediately jumped at the chance. And that's what they do. Premier does a lot around Springboro. We appreciate their investment here and especially their investment in helping us with the theater. So right now I'd like to introduce Mike Yule.
Thanks, Chris. Well, good evening. As Chris said, my name is Mike Ewell. I'm the president of Miami Valley Hospital, and on behalf of Premier Health and Miami Valley Hospital, it is our honor to be here this evening for the opening and dedication of the Springboro Performing Arts Center and Premier Health Theater. It was interesting that I got seated next to Representative Lips this evening. I appreciate the apology, Chris. Representative Lips and I have participated in numerous activities together in presentations, so we always have a bet of who can speak longer. Since he got to go before me, I have about 35 minutes of remarks. And also, what you didn't see is I had 4 pages of remarks. Representative Lips took one of those pages for his speech, so I'm going off the cuff now. But it's really our honor to be here tonight. One of the things we know across our organization, Premier Health, is that the well-being of a community is also dependent on the arts that it has within its community, and that really helps enhance the quality of life. And so we know that this Performing Arts Center is going to do so much for the Springboro community, all those who work and live here in the community, as well as all of the surrounding areas. We know this because we've been long invested in the arts, whether that's been through the Schuster Center, the Dayton Art Institute, both located in Dayton, Ohio, or even the Arbogast Performing Arts Center up in Troy, Ohio. It's been our long commitment because we at Premier, our mission is to build healthier communities. And for us, that goes beyond the walls of just bricks and mortar and taking care of you when you're ill or injured, or preventative wellness. It's also investing back in our communities to promote that quality of life, finding those long sustaining partnerships. And we've been a long-standing partner with the city of Springboro and the Springboro schools, and we are honored and privileged to be your partner. We look forward for a long-lasting partnership, more great things to come in Springboro. Chris and I are going to start talking about some of those, though he's going after Representative Lips for money, but healthcare's first. But we're very honored to be here and proud to be your partner, and we're just very excited to have the Performing Arts Center located here in Springboro and have the Premier Health Theater as part of that. So thank you and enjoy your evening.
I wanted to recognize some of the staff members and the building team that put this building together. So first I'm going to recognize Synergy Building Systems and Mills Barnett Development. Faith Sickman's here, Jared Barnett's here. Please. Tammy's story wasn't wrong. I mean, I would ask for something, or one of our staff members would ask for something, and it would literally be done the next day. That's how responsive they are, and they were with building this building. So I got to definitely give kudos to Faith. I know she put up with me for 9 months now, and probably dreaded every phone call like Scott dreads when I call. Is that a recurring theme with staff when I call that they don't? Anyway, you were very responsive with everything, and you guys just did an absolute wonderful job on this. They were here till 9 o'clock last night paving. So they knew what the deadline was, and they met it. So this is just, so thank you. You guys have done just a wonderful job with it. Some of my staff members, too, that I want to recognize that helped me and the city through this process. Mike Eaton, our facilities director. Mike's not here tonight. He's in New England somewhere on his motorcycle. Had more important things to do, I guess. He helped Elmer Dudas, our development director. Where are you, Elmer? And then Ken Conaway, who's standing in the back. He was our owner's rep on the project as well, so he kind of helped us with his construction background. But without those folks, I don't know the difference between a soffit and a window or whatever those things are. So, and then ask Faith about me trying to pick out colors. That's a joke. Luckily we had some other people helping with that as well. And then Sharon Roddert. Sharon, where are you? And Maureen Russell Hodson also helped plan this event tonight, so I want to thank them as well. So with that, the formal part of the program's over. What we're going to do now, Mr. Mayor, if you can come up in the front, we're going to go ahead and cut the ribbon and dedicate this great place. So, Kara, I can't remember how we decided we're going to do all this, but can we move the? We're just going to have your speakers. Yep. So if we could have the speakers come up here, Mr. Mayor, and then the city council members that are here. We're going to go ahead and cut the ribbon and dedicate this place.
3, 2, 1, cut the ribbon.
it wouldn't be a performing arts center without some performances. So we have that for everybody. Right now, we want everybody to file into the theater and grab a seat. We're going to have a production by the Springboro Community Theater, followed by a production by the ladies at the dance studios.
Part of our inaugural season in this facility is a show called The Marvelous Wonderettes. And you've probably not heard of that, and that's okay, but it's what we call a jukebox musical, which means you've probably heard a lot of the music on a jukebox somewhere along the way, because it's all cover tunes from the 50s and 60s. And so you're going to be singing along, you're going to be tapping your feet, and that's okay. We actually encourage that. Just make sure that you're singing along to the same song we're singing at the time. But this show will be going live on this stage next Friday. So we are not letting any dust settle from the construction crews. We are going live with this theater in 8 days. So our team has been in rehearsals for a couple of months, ready to put this on. We have a preview for you tonight. And what you'll find are these 4 ladies, and they are younger. They are finishing up high school, and you're going to learn a little bit about them if you come see the show. And then what happens to them 10 years later. So there are some things in life that affect their circumstances. So that's what the show is, and sprinkled throughout is cover tunes, and you're going to hear some of those right now. And if you're interested in what we have to put on this stage, then I encourage you to fill out this piece of paper. And that is a drawing for a pair of all-access passes, which will get you a pair of tickets to every show we do for the entire season. So it's a $360 value. So please fill that out, drop it in the box. We'll draw for it tonight and contact you. And if you're interested in tickets, you can check it out with our box office staff. I do encourage you to come participate and support the local community theater, because we are thrilled to be here and would love to share our passion with you. So that's enough for me. We have 4 very excited young ladies right behind this stage, ready for you. They are the Marvelous Wonderettes.
Hi, I'm Susie, and I'd like to dedicate this song to my boyfriend, Richie. Stupid Cupid, you're a real mean guy. Stupid Cupid, I'd like to keep your wings so you can't fly. Stupid Cupid, I'm in love and it's a crying shame. Stupid Cupid, and I know that you're the one to blame. Stupid Cupid, hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. I can't do my homework and I can't think straight. I get up every morning about 8:30. Stupid Cupid, I'm acting like a lovesick fool. Stupid Cupid got me carrying his books to school. Stupid Cupid, hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. You makes me feel real good right from the very start. Hey, go play Robin Hood with somebody else's heart. You got me jumping like a crazy clown, and I don't feature what you're putting down. And since I kiss those loving lips of mine, the thing that bothers me is that I like it fine. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. Hi, I'm Missy, and Susie's my best friend. And, well, I've had a secret love all year long. Once I had a secret love that lived within the heart of me. All too soon, my secret love became impatient to be free. So I told a friendly star the way that dreamers often do. Just how wonderful you are, and why I'm so in love with you. Now I'm shouted from the highest hills, even told the little daffodils. At last, my heart's an open door, and my secret love's no secret Hi, I'm BJ. Sorry, I'm Betty Jean. And it's my party. And I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. It's her party and she'll cry if she wants to. Cry if she wants to. Cry if she wants to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Nobody knows where my Johnny has Johnny, but Judy left the same time. Why was he holding her hand when he's supposed to be mine? It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Play all my records, keep dancing on me for a while, till Johnny's holding me tight. I've got no reason to smile. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Judy and Johnny just walked through the door. Where? Like the queen with her king. Oh, what a birthday surprise. He's not wearing his ring. It's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Oh, it's my party and I'll cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. Cry if I want to. You would cry too if it happened to you. Hi, I'm Cynthia Liu, and this song's for Billy Ray. Billy Ray was a preacher's son. When his dad would visit, he'd come along. Then they gather around and started talking. That's when Billy would take me walking. Out through the backyard we'd go walking. Then he'd look into my eyes. Lord knows to my surprise, the only boy who could ever reach me everybody sweet talking to me. Come and tell me everything is alright. Kiss and tell me everything is alright. Can I get away? Can I? The only boy who could ever reach me was the son of a preacher man. The only boy who could ever teach me was the son of a preacher man. Yes, he was. He was. Lord, he was. Yes, he was. How well I remember the look that was in his eye, stealing kisses from
if you're interested in finding out what happened before, what happens during, and what happens after, then you should be here starting next Friday night for the opening. So come back, check them out. Lots more music that you will hear and love, and they're certainly charming ladies. So come back and check them out. So we are also excited to welcome to the stage our neighbors right next door, sharing the same back room. The folks from Center Stage have graciously volunteered several of their dance ensembles to come out and show you a snippet of what they do and the art that they bring to life through their efforts. So we're going to welcome to the stage the kids from Center Stage.